All right, everyone, and we're back. And today's video will be on transhumanism. I got this subject from Tabby B, a follower in the comment. I want to say thank you for even commenting or doing anything there from that, and I want to respond accordingly and give you my perspective. So I'm going to go through a little bit of some articles, and then I'm going to show you some screenshots of some information I got from Dr. Phil Valentine. That's right, the Dr. Phil Valentine, one of the most prevalent metaphysicists from the 80s and therefore coming to now. So let's get into it. It says transhumanism is a philosophy and scientific movement that advocates the use of current and emerging technologies such as genetic engineering, cyborgs, artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, and to augment human capabilities and improve the human condition. So let's get to the history. The term transhumanism was popularized by English biologist and philosopher Julie Huxley in her 1957 essay of the same name. Huxley held that it was now possible for social institutions to supplant human evolution and refining and improving the human species. Although Huxley was principally concerned with advancing the human condition through social and cultural change, the general notion of humanity transcending itself came to be adopted by emerging transhumanist movement, which collaborated around the significant scientific advancements such as development of computer technology, space travel, and the use of cryopreservation. In the 1980s, newly formed transhumanism organizations, schools of thought advocate for human life extension, cyborgs, space colonization, and futurism. And in 1986, the American engineer K. Eric Drexler published The Engines of Creation as a further explanation of future applications of nanotechnology and molecular manufacturing. In addition, he and L. Peterson founded the Foresight Institute to promote the safe implementation of nanomachines and bioengineering, right? Also in the 1980s, American conceptualist artist Natasha Vida Moore published an evolving manifesto of transhumanism art statement, which announced the designing of the future that merged aesthetics with science and technology to enhance the sensory experiences and to improve and extend human life. Other prominent voices such as transhumanist movement were the American philosopher James Hughes and Canadian roboticist Hans Morvock. In the 1990s, extremism is a liberal doctrine that advocates overcoming humans' limitation through technology and came to the forefront of the transhumanist movement. The British philosopher Max Moore founded the Anthropology Institute early in the decade with American philosopher lawyer T.W. Bell. Now, I want to throw this in here, people. From my perception, just from what I can see from this article and thinking about this a long times, whenever they say philosopher, anybody that thinks outside the box, they call them a philosopher, and that's not always to be so. Usually, very powerful philosophers, in my opinion, are practicing, magic, alchemy, sorcery, and things of that nature that cause an alchemical change within that is not technology based, but maybe supernatural or spiritual based. So that's something I would kind of throw in there. Highlighting the movement's individual proactive approach to expanding the human potential. In 1998, Swedish philosopher Nick Bostrom and British philosopher David Pearce founded the World Transhumanist Association, an international organization that promoted transhumanism as a serious academic discipline. The W2A rebranded itself as Humanity Plus, a more diverse and cohesive version of transhumanism, one that branches on the thought from both the Astrophony Institute and the W2A, and advocated safe and ethical use of technology to expand human capabilities. Now, this is the most important part, Queen. Remember when you asked me this question? Now this is it. TB Bay or TB Bay B. Now, pay attention to this. This is the important part. It says transhumanism founded further support from Silicon Valley entrepreneurs, including Google. If you know anything about Google, they are the main proponents and movers and shakers in transhumanism. They're one of the first companies that were talking about artificial intelligence, robots, cyborg, synthesoid, humanoids, and things of that nature. Google. Co-founder Larry Page, Amazon's Jeff Bezos, Tesla's Elon Musk, and in 2013, the Page launched the Calico Life Sciences, Calico Labs, a research and development company dedicated to extending human lifespan through advanced technologies. In early 2022, Bezos and other backers invested in AOS Labs, a biotechnology company seeking to reverse aging and disease. Musk founded SpaceX. I've done a video on SpaceX, the Spaceverse, the 4,000 satellites in the sky. If you get a chance to go back and look at it, that will further fill you in. And in 2002, in hopes of establishing human colonies on the moon, Mars, and launched Neuralink in 2016 to develop implantable brain chips. In July 2022, the brain chip company Chronicles announced that it had successfully implanted a chip in the brain of an ALS patient in the United States. The chip was designed to enable severely paralyzed patients to operate digital forms of communication with their thoughts. So, people, let me put it together. Let me put this picture together of what they're saying, right? These foundations and movements were first pushed by philosophers that probably were connected to, Masonry, secret societies, fraternities, and things of that nature. So first they come out with the encasing, kind of like the structure or the documents of what transhumanism is. Then the entrepreneurs, Jeff Bezos, who's connected to this company, StarTimes, and also Bill Gates is also connected to this company quietly, that have created implantable brain chips. So is Elon Musk. And they are trying to take your consciousness in these brain chips and send it to a metaverse, an omniverse, and a spaceverse on SpaceX and Neuralink and Starlink technology. So this is why it's important, because they code things. They don't just come out and say it. They put it in codes. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing unless you do your further research. I'm just saying that this is what they're saying. Transhumanism started out as a movement for social and cultural confirmation and collaboration, which has now turned into a technological innovation and advancement of humanity. Right? Then when we get into the further parts of that, it says ethics and philosophy. As transhumanist ideas developed from theory to actuality in the late 20th century and early 21st century, ethical concerns increasingly took a central role in transhumanism philosophy. Scientific breakdowns, including stem cell therapies in vitro fertilization, brain chips, animal cloning, exoskeleton, robot arms, artificial intelligence, genomics, have redirected the dialogue between transhumanism proponents and its critics from the future to the present. Advocates of transhumanism argue that the emerging technologies can be used to eliminate disease and otherwise improve human life, as well as to provide solutions for urgent global problems. For example, brain chips and mind uploading, metaverse, ding, 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 augmentation in spaceverse and omniverse technology, that's what it will be, is initially through the fanciful dreams of those speaking to form an infinite intelligence or immortality through the computerization extension of consciousness, might be used to cure or overcome neurological disorders such as dementia, Alzheimer's, and paralysis. Likewise, catastrophic events of climate control. Now pay attention, people, because as I told you before, I'm going to give you the code words. Sustainable development and climate control means smart city, smart grid, right? Transhumanism is AKA for brain chips, mind uploading through the metaverse and technology. Because when they say climate control, they're combining the brain chips with the metaverse, with smart cities, sustainable development, smart grid, and the Internet of Things. This, right? Where you will own nothing and be okay with it because, first of all, you won't even be human all the way. You'll now be part human, cyborg, or technology. That's what it all comes down to. Technology. You becoming a synthozoid humanoid in the future. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that this is what they have planned, and this is what it looks like as of now. As we all know, things change. The time is not finite. It's not structured. It's not in a line. It's not linear. So things could change. Likewise, the likely catastrophic events of climate control have spurred some transhumanists to promote space colonization, right? Now we know why Elon Musk is so heavy on SpaceX. Jeff McCaleb, who owns XLM Stellar Luminous, has his company Vast, and Richard Grant, I can't remember his name, the guy for Virgin Galactic. So let me get his name right. Virgin Galactic. Yes, the space tourism company, who is owned by Richard Branson. We know it's all part of the transhumanism movement. That's why it's important to pay attention to that. Critics have countered that realizing transhumanism goal of slowing and reversing aging and extended human lifespans will only worsen overpopulation, to which transhumanists may assert the necessary establishment of human colonies on Mars, and concerned transhumanist technology will create a greater social inequities and are among the most criticisms of the movement. In an article in the journal Foreign Policy 2004, Francis Folokwa called transhumanism the world's most dangerous idea. This is not my perspective. This is Francis Fujikoloka. I'm saying it wrong. Sorry, guys. He put this article in 2004 saying that transhumanism is the world's most dangerous idea, warning that biotechnology's offering might come at a frightful moral cost to human rights. And he pointed out that wide economical disparities between countries may further encourage and enhance individuals to claim superior rights to those left behind. And he says transhumanism continues to be compared to the eugenics movement. Pay attention, people, because it all connects. Reflecting fears that technology will be exploited by those wishing to become or breed superhumans. For example, synthetic production of hormones and ethiclasm, which is naturally produced in the kidneys and increases the production of red blood cells, and adaptive technologies such as bionic implants and cyber fiber prosthetics are sought out not only by people with blood disorders and disabilities, but also non-disabled athletes looking to boost their performance. In the future, the athletes will be robots, synthesoids, and androids. You will have heard it from me first. I'm not saying anything that's mind-blowing. We've seen it in movies. I'm just throwing it out there. In the future, your athletes will be synthesoid robots, and therefore after. Conversely, transhumanists may argue that genetic engineering has long been practiced in agriculture and animal breeding, resulting in the features of modern life that is largely accepted, from sweet corn to domestic dogs and cats. Although transhumanism has been characterized as materialist and atheist or an agnostic philosophy, some humanists have uttered theories that they resemble new adaptive New Age, Buddhist, or Christian perspectives. In the physics of immortality, for example, American physicist Frank Tiplar borrowed from Frank Jesuit theologian and theologist Pierre Chadwick's Omega Point Theory, which proposes evolution is conversion towards a final unity, to present a concept of God as a cosmic computerized intelligence. That is the equivalent to Omega. When the Omega point is reached, everyone will experience a computation, resurrection, and immortality. Right? So, in saying that transhumanism is an evolution of brain chips, mind uploading, smart grid, smart development, androids, and superbiotic synthozoid humanoids. This is what it's all about. And to go even further, this is the 2045 strategy. They call it Strategy Social Initiative. That they call this the 2045 Avatar project milestone. Example, Avatar A, 2015-2020, a robot copy of a human body remotely controlled. We have this going on as we speak, as I've shown in other videos, right? Project Mindspeak, Avatar B, 2020 to 2025. We're still in this range. An avatar in which a human brain is transplanted at the end of one's life. That's coming soon. Avatar C, 2030 to 2035. An avatar with an artificial brain in which a human personality is transferred at the end of one's life. And Avatar D, 2040 to 2045, a hologram like avatar. And this movement comes from a dude named Dmitry Akryov. And I'm saying his name wrong, but you would be more employed to see some things about where he comes from and who he's connected to. Dmitry is actually connected to the Dalai Lama. If you look a little bit further, interestingly enough, and I'll try to see if I can pull that picture up for you guys. Let's see. Dalai, see. Dalai Lama. See. Sorry about that, people. Let's see if we can find a picture of these two hanging out together. And if I can't find this picture, maybe post a little bit later. But yes, I've seen this guy in pictures with the Dalai Lama. Very important figure in this initiative. You know what I'm saying? It's all about immortality and technology taking over. Right? To kind of go off of that, this is another milestone they have. 2015, the first copy of the Avatar. 2017, launching the Avatar into mass production. 2020, the widespread production of Avatar, affordable mass like a car. That's what they say in 2020. The first successful experiment brain transplant into an artificial body. 2020, 2025, a copy of Betty B. 2030, the creation of an artificial brain. 2035, miles transfer in a completely artificial body. 2040, creation of hologram body. And 2045, mind transfer into the hologram. Let's see, post-human. There's something called post-human super suits. Let's see. Let's see. Post-human super suits. For those that don't know, post-human super suits are what they're almost like a RoboCop suit or a cyborg suit that in the future they will be wanting people to use. Now I'll just give a brief, very brief thing because I'll probably do a video on that in the future. Let's see if I can find that. There we go. It's called Prima Post Human Transhumanism Culture, right? So these suits later in the future is what people will be using. It says Prima's radical design body is more powerful and better suspensed, more flexible. Each body offering extended performance and model style. The expensive interior provides an advancement of the senses or nano engineering spinal cord communication system that runs under the guidance of a networked AI with a wide range of functional things. And here is what these suits will help do. The primo post-human suits, and this is just a little overview. I'll probably gonna do a video of this in the future. It says it goes from limited lifespan to ageless, legacy genes to replaceable genes, wears out to upgrades, random mistakes to error correction device, sense of humility, and enlightened transhumanism, and intelligence capable of 100 trillion synapses to intelligence of 100 quadrillion synapses, single track awareness, multi viewpoint running in parallel, gender restriction, gender changeability. Wow. Imperious. And my whole point of saying this is it's coming. Matter of fact, it's already here. Right? The super suits that may take over the world. And going from that, I wanted to read a couple things that they say. It says transhumanism and the future of humanity, the 7 ways the world will change by 2030, right? The first way is our bodies will be augmented, right? Our thought process will be faster and more transferable. Both wearable and implanted brain chips, BMIs, are in development from the organizations such as Elon Musk's Neuralink, Facebook, and Dharma, right? If you know anything about the Metaverse and Omniverse, Meta and the Oculus, these are the things that we're these are things that they're creating and working on as we speak. Early innovators of Uber are already harnessing the incredible combined power of behavioral science, gamification, and AI. Uber is trying to, at the moment, create AI, artificial ran cars. So that's right. Soon, Uber drivers and Lyft people may be out of a job. We will be more empathetic. We will see the emergence of extreme personalization and customization, right? Removing body parts. You don't like your face? Fix it. You don't like your nose? Fix it. This is already slowly being practiced with plastic surgery. That's right. These are all the things that we have been going through in society and seeing that become social trends are all leading you down a pathway to transhumanism, artificial intelligence, smart grid, smart city, space colonization, space mind media, and you will own nothing and be okay on the smart grids and smart cities. This is what all this is leading to. Business practices will shift significantly, of course, with artificial intelligence and other things that are nature taking over. The human being will now become an inferior technology. Conversations focused on social values will gain a great deal of attention. And now, I went through that screenshot. These are the avatar milestones. The Avatar 2050, a guy, Demetrius Arkov. This is a projection of the milestone. It says the path to neo-humanity, the foundation of the ideology of evolution of 2045 party. Humanity does not have a master plan of its development. It seeks sustainability. It lives in the present and does not plan. It preserves the status quo and tries to escape development. It does not tend to map the future centuries and take responsibility for evolution in the consumer social society culture. There is no evolutionary vocabulary rhetoric to break the deadlock. The Russia 2045 movement was funded. It's a mega project intended to reach new heights and meanings with the intent to create a new vector for civilization aimed at constant human development evolution. We integrate the latest discoveries and developments of sciences, physics, energetics, aeronautics, bioengineering, nanotechnology, neurology, cybernetics, and cognizant science. And new transhumanist movements and parties emerge. The race to immortality starts now. It says a robotic human copy controlled by thought by our brain computer interface. As it becomes as popular as a car, androids, robots replace humans in the manufacturing tasks. Androids, robots serve humans for every home. If you've seen the movie Surrogates, that's how it is. They no longer go around in a human body. They project themselves in these avatars when they're in a state, and these avatars live their whole life while the human stays safe in their home. Pay attention, people, because this is what transhumanism is leading to. Through control avatars to provide telepresence in any place of the world, abolish the need for business trips, flying cars, through driven mobile and communication tech built into our bodies or sprayed in our skin, right? This is what this looks like in present day. As I've shown this picture before, this is a lady that her body, because she got disfigured at Lord bless her soul, she's now a symphozoid, a robotic organism living off this, sadly enough. And I will end off with this. It says the timetable for the 2045 project, right? I've read this before, but I'll just go through it. An autonomous system providing life support for the brain, allowing it to interact with the environment is created. The brain is transplanted to an avatar. With an avatar, the man receives a new expanded on life. The new generation of avatars provide a complete transmission of sensations from all 5 sensory robotic organs to the operator. The colossal project of the brain reverse engineering is implemented. World science comes very close to understanding the principles of consciousness. The first successful attempt to transfer one's personality into an alternate carrier with the impact of cybernetic immortality begins. This is from 2040 to 2045. Bodies made of nanorobots that can take any shape arise along the holographic bodies. In 2045 to 2050, drastic changes in social structure and scientific technological development and our pre-requirements for space expansion are established for the future of man. War, violence are unacceptable. The main priority of his development and spiritual self-improvement. A new year dawns on the era of neo-humanity. So I want to throw this out here. I got these from Dr. Phil Valentine. I'm giving a shout out. I'm giving credit where it's due. He's given us information on this topic that way better than I could. He was the first gentleman that explained that homosexual, transsexuals, and things of that nature were all a ploy, were all a theory. I call it a theory to move people to humans not wanting to be themselves, not wanting to be a gender, and to get more into robotics and androids. And as we can see, that's the plan. So now we're at the end of this video. I want to give a shout out to the queen that asked me for this video in the comments. This is a response to you about what transhumanism is about. It is about evolving you into an android robot in a smart grid, smart sustainable city to further get you ready for space colonization and moving off the earth. It sounds like things of sci-fi movies, but this is what transhumanism is all about. My name is Cal Lau. I do videos on cryptocurrency, metaphysics, the flow of money, technology. I'm a futurist. I look in the future to understand what's going on in the present and also understand what happened in the past to lead us here where we're at today. As I always say, you can either prepare for the future or be a victim of the past. It's your choice. I give crypto, metaverse, technology, futurism consultations. The information will be in the description. Things are moving fast. Pay attention, people, and adapt accordingly. And may the universe be with you. Ashe, heading out.